Hey guys, this is Danielle Gignoli of the Southern California Paranormal Detectives. We are checking out some of the old LA Zoo over at Griffith Park. Some of the old enclosures from back in the day. As you can see, checking out some of the old enclosures from other animals. Dom's our witness on this on this episode. Trying to see if we can catch some of the animal spirits that may have been attached to this location. See where inside. Some of the stairs that led some graffiti still left, but yeah, see where we are. Whoops. See where we are going. But yeah, episode 5 in the making, and seeing what we find on this episode. Stay tuned. Some of the stairs that led some graffiti still left, but yeah, see where we are. Whoops. Some of the stairs that led some graffiti still left, but yeah, some of the stairs that led some graffiti still left, but yeah. Hey guys, this is Danielle Gignoli from Southern California Paranormal Detectives. We are back again to do another, we're going to try to recreate what I caught last week, and see if we can catch it again, or try to figure out if it was like another hiker, or something paranormal, something not. I mean, as you can see, there's other people that hike up here as well. So we're gonna check it out. We're in the same enclosure that I was in last Monday, and we're gonna check it out and see if we can recreate it again, kind of following the same same way that I was before. And the one who's with me now is actually Jean-Pierre Gignoli, our founder of S.C.P.D. Try to see if we can recreate it again. Alright, you're going to try to do the exit out. Alright, come back in. Alright, try coming a little closer, coming in. Yeah.
Okay, like right here?
Yeah, and then exit backwards. Alright, try it again.
Try it again. It felt really weird.
It's not a natural human movement of exiting, but you can try to.
Like motion down from we saw.
All right.
And then down.
Okay. Let's try it again, but this time try to make as little noise as possible to see if we can hear.
Yeah.
Because last time when I was recording, I didn't see anybody, nor did I hear anything. So let's try it again. I said as quiet as possible.
I told you it's hard with this pipe here, so that's especially for a tall person.
Yeah. Okay, try it again.
One more time.
Hmm.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we did it a couple times. Now, can you try to get exiting like with your back towards us?
Yeah.
So we know what that looks like.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna pause it.
Okay.
'Cause there's some people looking around in here. I didn't want to block them, so.
Oh.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Like we said, there's hikers, there's people checking out these enclosures. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one. All right, so normal exit. We'll come out. Normal entry.
All right, come back again to the opening.
Like
With your full back towards us. Your full back, and then now do the exit out motion. Okay. I think.
see like this, and then he went like down, and that's so awkward. It hurts your leg, it hurts your muscles in your back too, because you're twisted like sideways.
Mhm.
I don't think he was forward, because that wouldn't make sense to go like this, because he didn't move that slow. He moved like smooth.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you doing a still shot? Did you do any moving shots?
Yeah, I mean, I'm moving. I was moving, and then I did it for both. Where you're. Okay, so now I'm gonna stop recording. So this was actually in selfie mode, recording because I don't have the selfie stick. But yeah, we tried to recreate Jean-Pierre being up on the stairs. So I'm hoping at the viewing tonight at our house that we kind of did justice in trying to figure out what exactly it was. I mean, yeah, it's pretty interesting. So yeah, that led. That led. That led.
I think it's very interesting. I never was up at the top, so I don't know what it looks like. So I don't really have anything to compare it to. To me, though, I'm kind of not convinced. I can see how it's a person backing up under the fence, but I haven't seen up there, so I don't. If I was to see this video on the street, I would make the conclusion that it's a person trying to get off of camera. That is the conclusion I would make, but I don't have the. I don't know what the upper looks like. I've never been up there, so I would just have to go off of what people have said about what the condition is like up there. That being said, it's at least creepy to watch. So that would be my take on it, honestly.
Okay. So Adam, tell us your thoughts on the evidence we caught.
Honestly, it was really interesting. I mean, I wasn't there, but I think the way that the figure moved was probably the thing that caught me the most, because I don't know, it was just so fluid and unnatural. Not like a regular, obviously, I mean, what you've seen in the video. It's, yeah, I don't know. My mind's kind of blown right now. I don't even know what to think about it, really.
Hey guys, I just watched the some of the evidence that we just saw. It was unreal. For me, it looked like it wasn't human. It body-wise looked like if it was like reptilian, like a snake, because it literally moved the way it moved. It just did a very smooth, slick back, and it's very hard for any of us to get through it, because we've went through that same spot and it was hard. I know I was talking to Jean-Pierre, and he said that it was difficult for him to even just get out of there and do the exact same thing. And for any of us that went through that hole, it was. So it did look like a humanoid from maybe whatever torso I had up, and then from below it looked like a reptilian. So who knows? I know it's very hard for any of us to really tell what it was. Alright guys, so that's it, and hope you guys liked the episode. Bye.
So with the evidence with the thing in the cage, I noticed a couple things. One thing is that you can't really ever notice any facial features in the slow-mo freeze frames. We were discussing it, and the only parts like you can kind of see, it almost looks like those Halloween costumes you wear where the sheet covers the face. At some points it looks like the thing doesn't have any neck. At other points almost looks like it has horns. When I was researching it, hearing about it kind of made me think of the native creatures that are on the reservations.
The skinwalkers?
Yes, that's the first thing that came to mind for me was the skinwalkers.
Yeah.
It made me think of the Navajo legend that you had told me about. So that was my first thought on it. But then actually seeing it, you get like a weird vibe, something odd about it. I don't like how you can't make out the facial features. Also, it looks like it's leaning, which I thought was weird. I definitely am going to chalk this one up to finding some really cool evidence.
When we were in there earlier, Dom was actually in the enclosure before I came in, and he was just taking photos on his cell phone prior to I actually got in there. So it wasn't just more for our use; this was more personal use. So I didn't know if he was gonna like upload it like on Facebook or anything like that. But when I got there, I didn't, my thing was just kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then, unfortunately, because stuff that's like unintended for that long period of time, there's tagging everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's LA, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah, about that.
So when later on that night when we came back and I was looking at it and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to upload it to Facebook. They're like, hey guys, sneak peek, this is where we were. And I saw it, I was like, crap, like, and I started thinking like, maybe Dom saw something. Mm-hmm. And I was telling Jean-Pierre, I was like, hey, text Dom. And he was like, it's late at night. It's like, he's probably asleep, like,
Then it'll be the first thing he
it's
sees.
like, like, I asked him if he saw anything, because he was in there first before I was, and, later on, Don's like, no, I didn't see anything. Wait, did you see something? Like, what? Like, he was excited about that too, and he's like, you know, he was excited that we're doing, like, the viewing of, because I want, definitely, if anything, I like to do day shots, if possible, depending if it's a night shoot or something. So I can have the night shots and do the comparison from this is what it looks like during the day. So if you don't see, 5 feet in front of you because due to the flash and everything, this is what it looks like during the day. So I wanted to do this. So there was a lot of shots that I missed that for the night shot they didn't have day shots. So before finding that on the thing weird
Creature.
I don't know what we're calling him now. The official.
What is the official term for this?
There is none.
I don't know, like the final thought, but the shape shifting creature thing. Before seeing that, I definitely wanted to go back, and now that was in my shot, it was like, okay, definitely we need to go back, because it's not only just kind of what we do, but more just like kind of playing the devil's advocate. So going on like, oh yeah, this is definitely paranormal, versus, okay, we gotta, from the non-believer or the skeptic, kind of seeing, okay, now we gotta go back and try to recreate it as best as possible. But I know even trying to recreate it this time, I kind of wasn't really happy because of the lighting, because we came back, it was probably like around after 5 in the afternoon.
When you did that with JP?
Yes.
What time was it when you were there?
We were there, like, we had traffic, so it was probably like around, it was like 12 noon or something. Was this before 1?
So the sun was higher up.
The sun was higher up, so like, it was very bright, so we didn't have the same lighting as it did when we were there earlier.
Irregardless, despite the fact that it had the gray scale like we were talking about, it still would have been bold enough for you to see in a darker lighting. Not necessarily at night, but even with the light that you had with JP.
Yeah.
Because with JP, like we were saying, you could see his goatee. There were certain angles. You could see his eyes, eyebrows. You could make the fine features out. And in those same like areas where JP was at, where you could see his facial features, that's when you could make out some on that thing. But even then, they still weren't clear. That's the ones where we were like, oh, it kind of looks like it might have horns or something.
Yeah.
That's the most we were able to see. But it's just crazy how it goes from where it's at its leaning and it kind of looks like there's some type of facial feature, but still pretty smooth, to when it's at that angle and you almost see like ridges. And that's in a matter of seconds from that weird slithery back movement. And like I said, what trips me out too is the fact that when it comes down, it's in a very fluid motion, but then it pauses. And if you're trying not to be seen, you're not going to pause. You're going to just immediately back out of the shot. And then again, how you were saying, if I was walking through and I saw someone filming, I'd say, oh, sorry, back up.
Yeah, like, my bad, like,
Or even if, okay, you walk onto a set, you make eye contact with the cameraman, and you back away, you're probably going to say, oh, sorry, and back away. You don't just, like, stand there, stare for a second, and then, like, creeper status, still looking at the person, back down. So there was just, like, a lot of weird things that were going on with that thing in general. And not say anything.
Yeah. And it was, I didn't notice that the thing was there, but also I didn't hear anything. And I can hear these guys, behind me because they're walking around on the outside of the enclosure. But up at the top, I didn't hear anything. I mean, I hear the birds and everything else, but I don't hear that thing kind of walk or...
And you could hear when JP was shuffling around, and you even told him to do it as quietly as you could.
But, yeah, it was like, okay. And even later on, where we're trying to, recreate it in between, there was all those 2 hikers that were, exploring as well. You could hear them. And I was like, definitely would notice something. And definitely would hear them. And I think even as quiet as, we can be, we would still make noise. Because it's loose, like gravel on the bottom. And then there's dried leaves and just the noise the fence makes when you're going in between. Because you had to kind of, squeeze in and come out it's something like being reborn again. Like you have to pull. I mean, unless you're super skinny and really tiny and very petite, I think you would still be making some sort of noise going between that fence.
Well, I remember seeing from some of the angles that you guys did where you could see from the fence into where the enclosure was.
Mhm.
You have the space that's about this big at the top and then that bar underneath. And it looks, I mean, I wasn't there, but from the looks of it, there's no real way to be fluid in that movement and have the height that person had.
Yeah,
Or
because
that
it was probably
thing had.
about same height, if not a little bit taller than Jean-Pierre. And then that one, I mean, more bulkier, broader than Jean-Pierre is. Because its shoulder like kind of blocked, kind of like that whole almost entrance, that threshold. Yeah, it's just, it's not a natural movement. It's kind of like what me and Marcello were talking about. He's like, it's not natural. Like, usually someone's like, or actually, it's like, you turn around and you walk out. Not just like, do that weird like reverse, backing out. It was just, you would just turn around and walk. And that's like kind of like we did, like, all right, now try it with your back towards me and walk out. And then trying to get more of a height, to judge how tall this thing was. That's what I was trying to Jean-Pierre to, to come back, take another step closer to me and kind of judge how, pretty much like from the waistline, you really can't tell like if those are in pants, shorts.
Yeah,
and
that's
it was just pretty much from the top up, and it actually looked like one of those like those baseball tees like from like in high school, like it's the white and then it has like the dark on the sleeve or whatever. That's what it kind of looked like, but it was still kind of like that monochromatic like color palette, like a black and white, like we copied and pasted that thing in there. Because everything else kind of like had that same kind of like aura, I guess, around it.
Yeah.
It kind of just like, and it blended out.
And then, like, you just brought up what I didn't really notice during the video, too, is he was very heavily torso.
Yeah.
For being that tall, you should have seen some type of leg movement. Because, like, I know someone who's 6'7". He would have been very tall in that frame. But because he's so tall, he has very long legs. He's evenly torso, but he's mostly leg. You see his legs. I mean, my shoulder comes up to his hip on someone who's 6'7". You could see me if I was standing up there. So you could see legs of somebody who's taller than JP standing up there. So that's kind of weird too. Just thought about that.
Yeah.